Hi everybody, this video will show you how to take through Design Space a new, really easy, simple file I've created to make a flip-flop card. I think they're called flip-flop, flip-flap, whatever you want to call them, and an envelope to go with it. So what you actually get is just the cut files to create the main card and the overlays that go over the top. There's a double overlay, so the purple you can see there is one, and then the white is another one that goes on top of that. I don't include the printed graphics that I've shown here. These are just to show how you could use it. I made a wedding invitation for this purpley one here, and this one's a birthday card. And you do get, there's a close-up of it there, you do get an envelope as well that fits the card. Even with this one that I made, which has raised embellishments on all surfaces, that goes nicely in the envelope. There's one of it sliding into the envelope somewhere there. So it's a really lovely sized envelope. The whole project can be cut on the standard mat. If you can get A4, you can cut the main piece, the actual working mechanism of the card. You can cut that from A4. If you can't get A4 where you are, you would need to cut it from 12 by 12. And similarly with the envelope, you get a two-piece envelope that you can cut from 12 by 12 on the standard mat. But then if you want to cut the envelope all in one piece, you would need the long mat and tabloid or A3. But you've got the choice. The whole thing can be made using the standard mat. So I really love these cards. I only came across them lately. I know they've been out a long time, but I've really only just got into making cards and envelopes and things, or fairly recently anyway. So I thought I'd have a go at one. There you can see that's the back of the birthday card as standing up, and there's the front of it. I really love them. I'm definitely going to make some of these for birthdays and other occasions that I've got coming up. I think I've got a little film, a little video I can play which shows you the card working. Just a tick if I can find it. Not actually sure if you can record a video on a video, but we'll see if it works. So you can see you just pull it out and it lets you see the back of the card, and then both sides of it look beautiful however you display it. I really like this one. Okay, so let's go into Design Space and we'll see how to cut it. So, new project, and I'll bring it in all from scratch, even though as you can see it's in my library there. So there it is, flip-flop card. Just continue, upload, you don't need to make any changes, and it lands on your canvas already selected. So the first thing we need to do is just ungroup it. I'm using the desktop version for PC. Ungroup for me is this very first icon at the top of your layers panel over here on the right hand side. So just click ungroup, and that lets you see all the pieces inside it. And there is only one set of scores for this because there's only the main piece of the card that actually has scores on it, and they're right at the top of the layers panel here. So just click on that one layer, go to your operations menu and choose score, and if we zoom in you can see that they've been done. So then just select that piece and its score lines by dragging a box around it like that, and attach, which for me is at the bottom of the layers panel on the left here. Now if you're just going to cut this from decorative paper, you'll probably do, I think, print and cut like me. But if you're not, if you're just cutting it from decorative paper and you're going to use A4, then select a set of purple like that and attach, and then the other set of purple, doesn't matter what colour you cut them in obviously, and then select a set of white, these are the overlays obviously, and select those. And if you do that, you'll be able to make that whole thing from 5 sheets of A4. I'm not going to save it, but when we do go to make it, you can see that you can't actually choose A4, but it will fit on A4. So all you'll do, it's fine side to side, it's just the top to bottom is a little bit tight. It absolutely does fit though. So when you put your A4, send it through on you'd use the standard mat anyway, wouldn't you? So when you put your A4 paper on the mat, just drop it a couple of millimeters below that very first white grid line on your mat, and it will cut just fine. So if you're cutting this in Europe using A4, you'd need 5 sheets for the whole thing, including a full set of overlays. So that's very straightforward, isn't it? I might do another video at a later time showing you how I did my print then cut version, but I did it all outside of Design Space, so I'd have to make it again. But it's perfectly easy and feasible to do it in Design Space because all these little pieces will cut from A4 or letter if you want to do print then cut. They're super easy to do. So that's the envelope. I'm not going to cut it, so I'll just get rid of that for now, and I'll bring the envelope in. You get 2 SVGs with this project, one for the card, one for the envelope. And as you can see, you get 2 versions of the envelope within that SVG. So again, we're just going to ungroup it. The top layer is where the scores, the lines that need converting to score live. So just select that top layer, go to the operations menu, choose score from the drop down. You can see that they've been converted now, and this time, because there's more than one set, we do need to ungroup them. Then just select the group of cut pieces below and ungroup those, and now we can attach individual scores to individual pieces. This obviously is the 2-piece envelope that you'll cut from 12 by 12 using the standard mat, and this one is the single piece that you can cut quite easily, I think, from tabloid. It is a bit of a squeeze on A3, but it can be done. So I'll just attach that, and for now we'll just get rid of the 2-piece one, and I'll show you what to do if you're using A3 for this one. So yeah, it's just warning me that I need a long mat. That went away, that message, for a while, but it's come back with the update, hasn't it? So I'm going to cut it from A3, but I can't fit it on, so I'm going to choose, I could choose tabloid actually. I'll just choose tabloid, and that shows you that you can cut it easily in one piece in the US if you've got tabloid sized card. I kind of wish we could buy it over here, really. That extra length would be quite useful. So that's dead easy. But if you're using A3, all you're going to do a little bit like I just showed you then. When you place your A3 sheet on the mat, just drop it down about 3 millimeters from that very first white line on your grid. Stick it down to your mat well. It will just give you a little bit more space, but you can see here it's not beyond, oops, just go back a second. What have I done? Where's the bottom of it? There we are. Sorry about that. It's not gone beyond 42. 42 is here. So even without moving it, it should cut. But if you just want to give yourself that little bit of extra space at the bottom, just drop it. Drop the card down your mat a couple of millimeters. And if you've got the long mat and A3, you can cut this all in one piece. So that's the single piece envelope. Get rid of that now. And this, actually, just before we get rid of it, you can see that the 2-piece envelope has a larger flap, but this flap closes just as well. There's room to put a little bit of double-sided tape there and fold that flap down and close it. But because we've got more room to play with, I've put a longer flap on the 2-piece envelope. So this one's dead straightforward. It just fits on a sheet of 12 by 12. It won't fit on letter or A4. So it is 12 by 12 for the 2-piece and 2 sheets. I think that's all I need to show you. I really like this card because I think with it having all those, I don't know why I opened that then, with it having all those different faces on it, it gives you a lot of scope for personalising. And as you can see, I did all this, I did the wedding invitation just with print then cut on that top layer of panels that go on. And then with the blue one, I went to town a bit and I made print then cut panels which actually stick on with sticky pads. And then I stuck that little bird on with one of those wobbly springs. I just wanted to try one. I've never tried one before, so I stuck it on with that. But I think they both look beautiful and they're so quick to make. The actual, the card with its layers is super quick to assemble. And the envelope, it's really just a couple of tabs and a fold, and you've made that as well. So if you're in a rush, I think this is a nice card to make. Okay, if you have any issues when you come to cut or assemble it, please don't hesitate to get in touch. I don't think you will, but if you need to get in touch, you can do that on Etsy or Facebook, whichever you prefer. And if you just stumbled across this video and you'd like to buy the SVG, There's a link in the description for that as well. Don't forget, if you're purchasing 3 or more SVG files at one time from the Tanglecraft Studio Etsy shop, the link is in the description, you can use the 30 for 3 discount code to get 30% off your total purchase. This offer runs all the time, but you need to use that code when you check out. And if you haven't already joined the Tanglecraft Studio Facebook group, join now to get any special Etsy discount codes issued to group members and to take advantage of the free SVG files I give away in the group from time to time. The link to the group is in the description. I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.